Hey guys, I'm Dhairius Thomas, celebrity hairstylist, and I've been in the industry for about 5 years.
It's been great. Thank you so much for joining us today. So let's learn a little bit about your background. I know you were saying to me that you worked with Yusef Williams. How was that experience starting your career with the Y?
Oh, I love working with the Y. Working with the Y has taught me to, lose the mentality of, doing hair in a conventional way and
Hmm.
attacking it and approaching it from a different perspective as far as, racing the clock and working under pressure, and even dealing with celebrity clients. Working with the Y and Yusef has put me in rooms with people I've never imagined, and stars I've dreamed of, and taught me to, hone my skill and perfect my craft as to what it is now.
And how did you get connected with Yusef and being able to work with him?
I met Yusuf actually out at a club. I was a huge fan of Rihanna for a long time, and so I always did hair. So I was like, "Who does her hair? She's a superstar. I want to know who's the man behind it." So I did some research on him, and I later, moved to New York, and I randomly ran into him one night out at the club, and I was like, what, great to meet you." And I was dancing and performing at a Vogue club, and I think my strap was falling down. He picked my strap up like this. It was like, you know what, like this. And I was like, oh my god. And then we exchanged numbers. He later called me for a gig, which is Rihanna's Savage X Fenty. I think 2019 was my first time assisting him, and the rest was history.
Wow, that's incredible. I'm like speechless right
Hmm.
now. We'll go a little bit more about Fenty a little bit later. I wanted to know, do you have an art background at all? Because I was looking at some of your work with Doechii, and like her hair is just so insane. I know like creatively she's kind of out there, but like the hair that you've done with her have like so much structure and design.
Yeah, with Doechii, she's so cool and dope, and she's an artist as well too, of many spectrums. So yeah, I have a dance background, dance and theater, and that's how I met Yusuf as well too, out dancing. But I came to New York to be a dancer originally.
Oh.
So when I see or I hear a song or hear an idea creatively, I want to be a part of the conversation. When there's calls or creative briefs are happening, I like to be a part of the conversation because I feel like, although it's just hair that I'm applying it, it's more than just the styling. It's more of the aesthetic and how this art is going to live,
Mm.
throughout time. So I approach it from that perspective, and she likes to go there, and she trusts me a lot with her hair moments. From the BET, ripping the wig off, like that's wild creative direction, and that's kind of risky, but she did it, and it worked. And even her video now with the long, like 70-inch braids is like we go above and beyond, and Doechii allows me to create in that space when I'm with her.
Oh, I love that. Yes, I love the BET, her performance and doing the wig reveal and everything.
It
Perfect.
was scary. It was scary but revolutionary. We wanted to send a message that women are beautiful underneath their wigs. Like we're in the age of wigs. Everyone wears wigs, but we feel like women are beautiful and Black women are beautiful underneath their wigs with their cornrows, and that was the message we wanted to convey. And she had basically had two performances in one. So
Yes, brilliant, perfection. When did you decide to become a hairstylist? Because you're saying you had a dance background. When did
hmm
the love for hair spark for you?
so I started dancing like around 7 or 8. So it was like simultaneously. But with hair I discovered at the age of 12. There was no sports I can play. I moved with my aunt, and her son was a football player, and that wasn't my thing. We couldn't afford tennis. We couldn't afford gymnastics,
Hmm.
and I didn't know of dance training. I just naturally danced like with my cousins and at parties. So hair was the next thing that I guess made everyone happy that I became good at, because my cousin was a hairstylist and she did hair in her kitchen. So it was like a kitchen beautician, and I would pick up the
Mm-hmm.
scraps that she would cut on the floor and pick up those same scraps and use those on like her daughter's Barbie dolls. And
Ah,
from 12 to 17, I kind of like perfected that craft of braiding, and by 17, I had a clientele.
wow, that's incredible.
Hmm.
So you're just like self-taught basically.
Yes,
Wow, amazing.
and most things I do like for the first time, like even with ideas and visions, it's like the first time approaching it. Of course, I know how to install wigs, or I know how to braid, or have a foundation in like natural hair, things like that. But when it comes to like creating magic moments, it's always like a collaboration between the makeup artist, the hairstylist, the wardrobe stylist, all happening at once for the first time. So
Wow. You
that's the
have,
secret.
yeah, you have magics with your hand. That's incredible.
Yes, thank you.
Can you tell us like your approach when it comes to editorial looks versus to your celebrity clients?
I would say editorial. is more expressive, there's more freedom, and you can kind of not cheat, but like do the front of the hair, not the back, because it's gonna be photographed flat. So I will give you a look, but only from the front that's so spectacular that I don't have to, spend a million years doing the back of the hair. As opposed to celebrity and TV, it's 360, so it has to be perfection all the way around the head. So that's the difference. And with celebrity is more customized to the individual and the brand, the bigger brand and what she's currently doing and things like that. But editorial is more fun and for covers.
Yeah, it's so great. Which one has been your favorite so far?
Ooh, at first I thought it would be editorial. I love seeing my work spit back at me like in print. So if I walk down the street, I love seeing like random billboards in New York or like images of things like that. That's always what I wanted as a child or as a young creative, to see my work like being spit back at me in different mediums. So I love print for that aspect, but I love the challenge and the race against the clock when it comes to fashion and celebrity.
And you just did Serena's Time cover, correct?
Yes.
I mean, like, how was that? It's so huge. And that's something that, oh my God, do you have a frame in your apartment?
I haven't got a frame yet, but I have like 5 covers already. I have 5 of them just stacked, waiting to, I wanted her to sign one. I haven't asked her yet. I wanted to sign one, and then once she signs, I want to frame.
Yes.
So that would be my goal with that. But how did that happen? I found out how it happened later on. But initially, I was working a gig. I got a phone call from my agent. She was like, guess what? I'm like, what? She's like, Serena Williams for the cover of Time. I'm like, oh my Lord. Like, this is wild, because a year ago, I think when the Will Smith movie came out and things like that, I had something said DM her. So I DM'd her. I got a call for to be on First Hole for Venus. It didn't happen. It didn't go through. So I was like, oh, kind of bummed. So I was like, something said Dhairius DM Serena, but it never works. But I just did it anyway. So I did it. She never answered. That's fine. I love that. But it was just for manifestation. And the message said, you're my dream client. Right? And one day we will read this, and just to let you know, the manifestation is real. And I did it. And a year later, I kind of let it go. I forgot I did it. And then I went back to the message, and it's been exactly a year since I've sent that message to her.
Oh
and
my gosh.
a year later, I did her hair for the cover of Time magazine, which is like an iconic moment, and it's a pivotal time in her career. So it's like, I'm still on cloud 9. I don't know how to feel. I'm just grateful, and I want more, and I'm just in shock as well as everyone else. And I'm very, very humble and thankful.
Yeah, what perfect timing too. Great. I'm just like so happy for you. I know we just went today, but I'm like, oh my God, I love that this happened.
Thank you.
Can we talk a little bit about Fenty and Savage Runway? How did you define that look? Because they said that you are like the vision behind the hair for that runway for Fenty Savage.
Well, the last show, Volume 3, was more so Yusef gave me a little more control than usual. He was busy with Rihanna during the show. So when the discussion, he included me more in the discussion when it became like a creative brief, like, what do you want to do for hair? He let us, like, as a team with the Y, discuss like ideas, and we would test the ideas. So I would show him looks, and he will say yes or no. Then looks he liked, he would send to Rihanna personally, and she gave it a thumbs up. That's the look we would use for the show. So after I got the first thumbs up, I started creating like wilder looks, and he was just approving them from his phone, and we started creating looks like that. And of course, like he couldn't really like spend so much time with all of the stars that attended the show, so he threw me in not hot water, but he threw me to I wouldn't say to wolves, but he threw me out there to like he gave me to all the A-listers, and it taught me so much. Like in like I guess a day, I was in rooms with like Erykah Badu, from Adriana Lima to Vanessa Hudgens. Like they would just toss me to room to manage so many looks and so many stars, and that taught me so much as a professional in this industry as a whole. So I thank Yusef for that, and creating the looks was a piece of cake, but it was more so about maintaining my composure and remaining focused throughout the big job and getting the job done. That was more of the assignment. Like the creative part and the skill is like, that's natural, but he taught me to float in these spaces that where I'm at now.
Yeah, that's so incredible. And that sounds chaotic. I don't know how you survived, but
I don't know, but I'm here now.
And then we need to talk about New York Fashion Week. You did Serena Williams hair for the Vogue World. Can you share what that experience was? Because that's huge. And obviously you you manifested working with Serena.
Can you still see me? Okay.
I can still see you.
Oh yeah. So for Vogue World, this is the first runway show, and I had no clue that Vogue World was a thing. I was just not confused, but I had no clue how big the assignment was. I had no clue she was opening. I didn't know she was opening either. So I just recently came my first show at New York Fashion Week for a brand called Deviate. So that was huge, and it was under the production of Kelly Catrone. So like I'm working with Kelly, and like meeting Nigel Barker and getting into Grace, and building those relationships with like top model people that I watched as a child too. It was so surreal. So came my first show having my full team and getting a sponsor from Time Beauty. So it was like I'm really elevating in this space, and then like 2 days later, Serena calls for me to do her hair for Vogue World, and I had no clue what it was. I just knew she was wearing Balenciaga. I know she wanted to do long hair, and when I first met her, I brought her about like 5 wigs, and I showed her all of them, and there was a really, really long one she loved, but for time they wanted something more honest and more natural. So she was like, we're gonna save that look for another time. So she called me for a long wig. She called me for the long wig. So when she walked in, she was like, oh, hey. So I'm like, hi. She's like, not to you, to the wig. But then we started joking. So she loved that long hair. So she called me back for it, and we wanted to make it a moment. But classic, clean, low pony, and the rest was magic.
How many inches was that hair? Because it felt like it was like Princess Diana's train. That's how long it's been.
So that's 60 inches of hair actually.
Wow.
Down her back. I was gonna cut it like to get like a solid blunt cut, but I'm glad I didn't. I didn't know she was opening until she actually walked. I didn't know what was happening until she like walked. I'm like, Dhairius, okay. You can see me in my reel on my Instagram. I'm like sweating because I was working like nonstop, but I didn't know what was happening until it started happening. I'm like, oh God. Then like I saw all the images spinning back at me. I'm like, this is wild. I've never experienced this. Like, this is wild. And it was like by the grace of God, I'm thankful that I didn't know what it was, because I feel like I would have overthought it and it would have been like a hectic situation. But it's like by the grace of God that these opportunities like land in my lap, and it's like the magic that it is. Because to me, it's just a simple pony, but it went everywhere. So
yes, it was all over the place. Like, as in, like, we saw it everywhere. It was iconic. So great. I'm so happy for you too.
Thank you.
Can you tell us, like, what are your like main products, your go-to products that you love to use?
When it comes to tools, I would say there's a brush by the Y by Yusef. He has like this edge brush with a toothbrush, but the fun part of it is that it has like a little tip at the end of it, a metal tip that you can like define the details of any baby hair. So I buy them in bulk. They come in a pack of 2, so that's great. What else do I love? I love anything silk, so I have some great collaborations coming with Silk Lab, so be prepared for that. Silk headbands, silk scarves, things like that. I love anything silk because it's healthy for the hair. And let's see, I love a good Dyson blow dryer. I'll go nowhere without my Dyson blow dryer.
You can't go wrong.
Obsessed with it. A lot of times my clients like to use it as like to keep them warm on set. I'm like, no, girl, it's not to keep you warm. but for the most part, it's my Dyson blow dryer. I can't travel without it.
And do you have any hair products that you love to use, or you use whatever's there around?
Hair products lately I've been using as by Virtue. It's like this like a unfrizz cream. Like I'll get details. I'll tell you the details soon. But it's like a cream that you use like for the base of any hair, or it makes any hair like seals together. It eliminates frizz. It's like a frizz eliminator. It's really really good. I'll show you soon. But I can't live without that. It's my favorite product. I look at my bag for it all the time. And I have like multiple, I guess like edge brushes, endless edge brushes, because if I drop one, I can't use the same one. So always have different edge brushes. And my favorite pomade at the moment is by, I'd say TGIN. No, I'm lying. No, not that one. It's actually OGX. It's a pomade.
Okay, all right.
OGX, and it's a matte pomade. It has like a gold lid and a black base. A matte pomade is the best thing ever. It lays your baby hairs down, but it doesn't leave them crunchy. So it's some of my clients' favorite. They always ask like, "What is that you put in my hair?" Because it laid down, but my edges weren't stuck. So OGX it's a matte pomade. And it goes on the edges.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up so I can use it.
It's a game changer.
And obviously you worked with Serena, you manifested that. Who is your next dream client that you would love to work with?
I'm sure you can guess it. The queen herself. I want Beyonce. I would love to do Beyonce. I would love to do Meghan Markle. I would love to do Michelle Obama, Oprah Winfrey, Viola Davis, Angela Bassett. It's endless. It's so endless. Nia Long, like women I've watched growing up. Who just won Shirley Rao.
Oh my gosh.
Like iconic women that raised me on television. It's always, I wanted to occupy that space as well too. So I always wanted to celebrate those women and make them feel they're most beautiful. So any woman for that matter, Angelina Jolie, you give them to me, you name it, I want them.
I'm here for it. I can't wait till you manifest it, and I see you working with them. I'm rooting for you on the side.
Thank you.
It's been such a pleasure getting to know you, sharing your whole experience with the Tease. I'm so thankful that you took time out of your busy day, especially during New York Fashion Week, to talk with us.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.